Welcome back to Class Valuation's new hire training series on appraisal report writing. The intent is to guide a real estate appraiser, a user of appraisal services like an employee at a lender or an appraisal management company, or for that matter, any other reader of an appraisal report through the form. Before we get started, if you're not already a subscriber to the Class Valuation channel, consider subscribing. It helps the channel out, and you'll be alerted to the availability of new content. We appreciate your support, and if you like this video, please remember to smash that like button. The subject section of the appraisal report provides the factual data needed to identify the property to be appraised and the parties to the appraisal process. The data required for the completion of this section includes the following. Here, the appraiser enters the physical property address. For appraisal reports that are required to be completed using the Uniform Appraisal Dataset, or UAD, the format of the property address must conform to the United States Postal Service, or USPS, address standards noted in Publication 28. Also, the subject address must be populated consistently throughout the form. A link to USPS Publication 28 is available in the description below this video. The borrower is identified in the appraisal order, and it should reflect the same in the report. It is important to note that the borrower's name does not represent an assignment condition that impacts the scope of work, nor does a change require a new assignment. The owner of public record is confirmed in the initial data search for the assignment and is entered into this section as well. The legal description and assessor's parcel number, or APN, are entered by the appraiser as they are reported in public records. If multiple parcels are being appraised, there will be multiple entries in these fields. The legal descriptions can sometimes be lengthy, but must be entered in their entirety. If a legal description will not fit in the field provided in the subject section, then the appraiser may include it as an addendum entry within the report. If this is the case, an entry of See Addendum is appropriate for those fields in the subject section of the report. Alternatively, the appraiser could include an exhibit from the prelim or title report showing the full legal description if provided by the lender client. This opening section of the report also requires entry of all the other basics about the subject property. From public records, we see the real estate taxes paid by the property owner. The neighborhood name, which is usually the name of the subdivision, if applicable, or the commonly known local neighborhood designation. If the subject property is in a PUD and the assignment is for FHA, then the appraiser must provide the name of the development. The location map reference, which should convey the page number and coordinates from the most commonly used source local to the property, would be included here, along with the census tract number. The occupancy status of the property must be identified as either owner, tenant, or vacant as of the effective date of the appraisal. Often this information is verified by the appraiser during their personal inspection. The occupancy status can have a significant impact on interest rates and available loan programs. Any special assessments should be included here by the appraiser, and any homeowners association fees associated with the property, including the frequency in which they are paid. The property rights appraised must be reported as either fee simple or leasehold. Fee simple is the greatest possible interest a person can have in real estate, including the right to dispose of the property or pass it to one's heirs. This is the most common selection for residential properties appraised in the market today. Leasehold is an estate or interest in real property held by virtue of a lease. The borrowers own the structures, but not the land. This is common in places like Hawaii, but prevalent in other areas around the country, and adds to the complexity of any assignment. The assignment type or type of transaction is entered here and is most likely going to reflect a property for purchase or a refinance. For lenders who participate in the HECM space, that is a reverse mortgage, It is not uncommon to see "Other" selected with "Reverse" entered in the description. The appraisal report must include the name of the lender on the lender-client line. This field is used to establish the appraiser-client relationship, and it is critical that the correct lender is identified at the time of the appraisal order. Once the appraisal is complete and delivered, then any change to the lender-client name represents a change in the scope of work, and it is technically a new assignment per USPAP. The appraisal management company should not be included as the lender-client and will be reported in the appraiser certification section, which will be discussed later in this training series. The report also must indicate whether the property is currently offered for sale or was offered for sale within the 12 months prior to the effective date of the appraisal. Additional reporting responsibilities in this area include the data source or sources used, any and all offering prices, the dates associated with those offerings, and the days on market for the subject property. The appraiser will additionally research and identify whether the subject property is currently listed for sale, or if it has been offered for sale in the 12 months prior to the effective date of the appraisal by selecting either the yes or the no checkbox. If the answer is no, the data source or sources used must be provided. And if the answer is yes, the appraiser must report on each occurrence or listing and provide the required information. For example, if the subject property is currently listed for sale and was previously listed 8 months ago, the appraiser must report on both offerings. For appraisals that require UAD compliance, days on market or DOM must be reported. There are times when the client will provide documentation that presents conflicting information regarding the subject information. If a client requests a change to the property address, owner of public record, or legal description based on the prelim from title or other loan documentation provided, the appraiser is not entirely obligated to do so, but it is helpful in resolving any discrepancies and is considered a good business practice. It is important to understand that the prelim or title report is not considered a public record data source. The appraiser must use data that is readily accessible and can be replicated by an underwriter, a reviewer, or any other appraiser. It is this information that is stored in the appraiser's work file, and it serves as support for the relevant characteristics reported. Remember, it is the responsibility of the appraiser to provide a credible report using verified data sources. In the event that the client has made such a request, it would be appropriate to request the appraiser add the alternate information in the addendum of the report. Today's video could not be possible without the use of these trusted sources. We encourage you to view the remaining videos in this series. And don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber to the Class Valuation channel, consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please remember to smash that like button. Thank you for taking the time to check this video out, and have a great day.